Hey guys, I'm Dr. McFarland, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to limit your options on the Tone Master Pro from Fender. So if you've been around the world of modeling for any length of time, you know that there's just tons and tons of amps and effects that you can choose from. And most of the time, those clean tones or those overdrive tones can be pretty similar when you get them in a mix. So in this video, I'm going to show you my options that I've chosen to really dial back my clean sound and my overdrive sounds and just give me everything that I need for playing either at church or playing here in the studio or any other situation that I could come across in the future. So I am using my Doc McFarland IR. So just for example, this is a greenback with the 57 off axis and a Royer 121. So the amp I have chosen for my clean sound is, I know it's crazy to say, but it is the Fender Blues Junior. Now, the reason why I chose this amp is because of the fat switch, and I'll go into that here more in a minute. But when you really play through all the different amplifiers, whether that's the Vox or any of the Fender options, they all have a great clean sound, and you don't need to stay up at night or worry yourself to death on, oh, should I choose the Deluxe or the Twin, or should I choose the Princeton or the Super Reverb, or any of the other options that are out there. And for me, I actually like the sound of this Blues Junior. It gives me a treble, middle, and bass EQ. And I can also dial in the volume and the master volume separately versus the other Fender amps, which do not have a master volume on them. So this allows me to either crank up the master and get more power tube distortion, or lower the volume, or raise the volume and get more preamp tube distortion. So for me, I'm going to keep the master kind of in the middle, and we're going to leave the main volume around 4. So this is my Kiesel A2 7-string, and I really like the pickups on these. They're not super hot, but they're not super low output as well. They're just a good medium output, and that allows me to drive the amp at a certain input volume to where I'm getting the cleans that I want and also the overdrive that I want when I push the amp a little bit more. So this is the sound we have on the bridge pickup. And that sounds beautiful. Let's go to the neck pickup. And we can also have 2 and 4 positions on this guitar are the humbuckers in single coil mode. So this is the neck pickup on single coil. And the bridge pickup on single coil. Okay, so really great clean tones. Not really sure what else you would really want from that, but let's go ahead and add in a tremolo sound, because that's something I haven't added to this rig yet. So we can go to modulation and then just pick any of the tremolos down here. We'll do just the regular Boss green tremolo pedal, and this is what we got. That sounds good to me, folks. We do have a little celestial reverb here at the end, so we can turn that on and get some nice ambient cleans. And that works for auto swell stuff, tons of delay, whatever you want. Now, the magic sauce for this amplifier, to me, is the fat switch. So I can essentially go from the same clean tone and then add in the fat switch. And now I have this. Now for me, that gets me in the classic rock, lower gain, edge of breakup kind of stuff. It's not fully high gain or metal territory just yet. But it's just a good all around digging into power chords or just open chords and just getting some good grit out of a rhythm sound. So I can go ahead and bring up the volume on the preamp gain just a little bit more, and this is what we have. Yeah, I'm not really sure what else more you would want out of that. Now, there's plenty of Marshall stuff in here. You got the Friedmans and the other gainy kind of amps. But for me, that just gives me a good clean and then also a great sounding overdrive sound. Now, when I hit the multi-switch on the unit, it now takes me over to the EVH 5150 606 amplifier. I went through all the different high gain stuff, and I really do like the EVH models on other units like the Fractal and even the Quad Cortex, which I had earlier this year. It's just a good overall amp for your high gain needs. So I could have chosen a Marshall JCM 800. There's the Jubilee stuff that sounds really good. But like I said before, once you start comparing these amps side by side, you can pretty much get any of them to sound just like another one within reason. So for recording needs and just basic, hey, I want to shred and rock right now kind of needs, just pick a high gain amp that you like and just go for it. And don't try to worry about dialing in other amplifiers for specific parts, because you can raise or lower the gain on this amp. You can boost or cut the mids, the lows, and the highs. They're really shaped to sound however you want. So here's the EVH on the bridge pickup. Okay, and looking at the amp options, so we have the gain, volume, low, mid, and high, and presence. Tons of options we have in here. So if we lower the gain all the way down, it doesn't get quite clean, but you can get a little bit of low breakup kind of deal. I can even roll off the volume on my guitar. Maybe go to the neck pickup. So it's just a good low gain, slightly broken up kind of sound. And for recording, that's just perfect. So we can raise the gain back up a little bit more. And mind you that once you get past a certain point on the gain knob, you're really not adding more gain, you're just adding more noise. So I prefer to keep my gain knob down just to keep everything a little cleaner, more keep the strings and the notes more articulate. Versus raising it up. See, to me, that high is just a little too woolly, so I prefer to keep it down. You can also adjust the lows, and we can maybe cut the mids a little bit. Or maybe raise the mids. And then there's the highs and the presence. So too much highs and too much presence give you just too much bite to me. But this is what that sounds like. Highs all the way up. That still sounds good. Just depending on what you want in the mix. Just dial in the high end per taste. So between the EVH and the Blues Junior, I got all the gain and clean sounds I'd ever want. And then from there, you can just sprinkle in some overdrive pedals. So if we go back to our Blues Junior, I can add in a boost pedal. And this is what it sounds like before. then boost pedal on. So it's very similar to what the fat switch is doing. It's just not directly on the amp. And then of course we have our green box with the drive all the way down, tone in the middle. We'll leave the level about 50% as well. So here it is with it off. And with it on. So now you're introducing that mid-range variation into the sound, and you don't need the switch amplifiers for that. You just add in another pedal. So it makes it very easy. And then for another variation, we have the Nashville drive, which is the Noble's ODR. And the pedal on. So really you can experiment with other drive pedals in there and see if you like those better. But for me, a basic boost, a tube screamer, and maybe a Nobles, maybe even the Enchanter, which is the Timmy. Let's go ahead and add that in just for fun. You can hear what that sounds like. So we go to Effects, Stomp Box. There's also the Royal Tone as well. The Bluesmaker sounds really good. But, you know, just going off of names that we know and that are popular in the market, the Timmy is right up there with being a good overdrive kind of sound. So this is with the pedal off again. And then with the pedal on. Alright, so it doesn't give you that scoopy, just chunky metal type sound, but it's just a great overall sound for lead work, for just a dirty rhythm type stuff, whatever you want. So if we go back to the Nobles here, we can turn this on and just kind of quickly compare. So that's just a slight difference in the mid-range. And for me, the Nobles wins out for that one because it just pushes a little bit more mids, a little bit more volume. But the Enchanter, if you want a more transparent type overdrive, that's definitely a good option for you. So I really encourage you just to go through all the amps, find an amp that you just love, and then you get a good clean sound with, a good overdrive sound with, a good metal to hard rock type sound. And just stick with those and build all your rigs and your presets around those amplifiers. And what I have here on the unit itself is a switch set to multi. So I can just hit that one switch and it goes back and forth between the two amps. So it's very easy to go from clean to full on overdrive. And then if I want other variations, I can just make other presets and just have different settings and whatever else. Then even switch between those presets with gapless switching. So lots of cool options here on the Tone Master Pro. Let me know down in the comments what you think about all this. If you are overwhelmed by all the options, then just please pick an amp that you're happy with, that you can get a good clean sound from, and just sprinkle in some dirt pedals, sprinkle in some delay, some reverb, maybe some tremolo. If you like chorus, add in some chorus. If you like flange, add in some flange, whatever you want. Just make the best of the tones that you have, and I promise that you'll be a lot happier with your unit once you've really learned that one amp and just dialed it in for your specific needs. So if you want to get any of the presets that I've made for the Tone Master Pro, just look for Doctor McFarland on the cloud, and you can download whatever I have up there so far. And if you want to support my channel in any way, I am using my own Doctor McFarland IR pack from Sonic DNA, and you can purchase that down below through the link. And I also have courses on my website that shows you how to dial in tones on other units, and also about music theory and recording. So any support you can give is greatly appreciated, and be sure to check out the affiliate links down below as well. Until next time, guys, I'm Dr. McFarland. I'll see you in the next video. Keep rocking.